Hi, this is Jung from Juniper Berry Soaps, and we're having the cutting of my second Christmas holiday soap. And it is a beautiful poinsettia flower soap called Christmas Splendor. So they are all hand piped right onto the soap, which I don't know if I may or may not recommend. I've done hand piped poinsettias before on cupcakes, but this time I just piped them right onto the soap, and it's possible to do a decent job of it. It has a beautiful gold, red, and green swirl. Unfortunately, that got covered up by these beautiful poinsettias, so it's either going to be one or the other. You can't have them both on top. But hopefully we'll see a beautiful swirl on the inside of this soap. And just boom, that's it. It's really not that big a deal. Oh, I see all these Christmas colors on the inside. I love white, green, red, and gold. I think they are traditional, but they are beautiful. They are a beautiful color combination. And for obvious reasons, they're complementary colors. My students, I teach art, they know about complementary colors once they're done with me. I think the poinsettia leaves, however, are going to look a little greener once the soap is cured a little further. Right now they're like a grayish green, and that is not how the end product will be. Right now I'm just trying to release the soap from the mold. And here is that gorgeous loaf. You could see I did a chopstick swirl. I blobbed the soap on, and I took a chopstick and I swirled it around at an angle, and I did that twice to get a nice swirl. This is kind of a low top soap. There's no ice, no like piping or anything like that. Now we're gonna cut the soap over here. And just so that I don't, I think that I'm gonna cut it from here so I can see what's going on. It's very random, the flowers, so they are going to get cut, but everyone's going to get a flower. And the soap is nice and soft, and let's take a look at the swirl. It's been, oh, look at that. It's been less than 24 hours. The green is already, pretty bright. It looks kind of like that lighter green over here when it's done. I'm just going to take them out of the cutter. What's great about swirls is usually they are just really different from bar to bar. So one side is very different from the other. This one has less. Other side of the same bar has more. It's just very interesting. Okay, very Christmassy. Everybody gets a poinsettia. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's poinsettia, but I could be wrong. So I made poinsettia cupcakes the previous year on top of my Christmas tree cupcakes, and they completely sold out, eventually. When I say completely, I mean not at once. It's just, the ebb and flow of sales. Okay, so now I'm going to just stamp I'm going to stamp the soaps. Might as well get that done. And I have my little alcohol here. And I'm going to put it on this little silicone mat right here. Ooh, that's dirty. It does a good job. Don't want little blobs of soap sticking to the soap I just cut. So this is my typical little square store label. Okay. Or store stamp. I'm just going to center it the best I can. I like it because it's a little smaller, and I like to pound it in the center, pound it on the corners, just do light pounding. I don't want to go too strong, and that is more than enough. And you get to enjoy the swirl on the back side, although that's not the greatest on that side. But you get to enjoy the swirl on the back side and enjoy the stamp on the front side. Okay. So that is the look of a finished bar right here. Stamped with my store name, Juniper Berry, front, back, and top. That's a better example here. So put the stamp on there, make sure it's not upside down. Don't do it too hard here because the soap is very soft. That's good enough. And we're going to stamp away. It's getting hard, and with this soap it seems like you can't, maybe I shouldn't be banging on it because some of the leaves are coming off there. So I'm just going to use my hand. Go back to hand stamping because the soap is so soft anyway, and the mallet is just overkill. So just use my thumb, just kind of push it down. Bring it up. It's a little harder, but makes less of a racket too, in case you're doing some midnight soaping. From what I hear, that is not uncommon if you're doing this as a side thing. Or 2 o'clock in the morning soaping. You don't want to be banging on stuff and whizzing away with your blending stick, which I do, which is rude, but what can you do when you didn't make any soap for a while? And you don't have the time. Or you're just too slow like me. I'm just too slow at making everything. But here we go. So we're just finishing up the stamping. Right there. That is a really nice swirl. So I didn't talk about the fragrance for this soap. So this, I have not used this fragrance before this year, and it's a very sophisticated fragrance, and it was my second soap is fragranced in Crafter's Choice Sugared Amber and Plum, and this fragrance is really beautiful. It's very sweet. It's also perfumey. It smells like a very sweet smelling perfume. It does have some sort of sweet, fruity plum notes, as they say. And that amber fragrance makes it smell almost like a perfume or cologne, more perfume. So it's not a purely fruity fragrance. If you want something a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated, going toward more of the perfume side of fragrances. So definitely highly recommend it. It did accelerate just a little bit. And I'm using a hard butter recipe, and I still got these nice swirls without having a heart attack. And it's set up okay. I mean, it didn't really accelerate that badly or too much. It's very workable. It's fairly friendly as a fragrance oil. It's a little crooked. So definitely highly recommend. And it's not like a sickly sweet, just straight out fruit smell. So I'm getting a little into, a little bit more than just the basic kind of smells. I'm really enjoying these kind of perfumey, more mature smells that adults would like, instead of everything smelling like strawberries and bananas. So I'm just being a little bit more thoughtful about that and what kind of fragrances should go in soaps. Um, I do like food fragrances, but I don't think I would want to put that too much in soap because of the whole browning factor. So going the route where you're going toward more perfumey smells is also good at avoiding your soaps discoloring. And they smell nice, of course. So it lets me avoid that kind of thing. You do a beautiful design and then your soap turns, deep dark brown. And I don't think people like to put a brown soap on their washcloth. There's just something a little, I think, we don't want to say it, but there is something a little off-putting about that. So some people don't mind. I think other people do mind, in that it doesn't always make for the best design for every soap to have a brown soap, or every soap in brown. Here is my first two Christmas soaps. My first is the Grinch soap, and my second is the Poinsettias soap, which I'm calling Christmas Splendor, because it is gold, white, green, red, all of the beautiful colors of Christmas. So this is Jung from Juniper Berry Soaps. Have a nice Thanksgiving, and I will see you in my store on Etsy, Juniper Berry Soaps, for this soap release in about 4 weeks. Bye-bye.